so slightly overwhelmed with the amount of film that I have to develop and things I want to talk about with you guys in this vlog, but hello, my name is Felicia. I'm a 35mm film photographer and home developer. We have 11 rolls of film to develop for this vlog that were shot over the months of February, March, and April, and to develop these bad boys, we're going to try the new rollei C-41 developing kit just for funsies. I also ended up getting a new scanner. It's an upgrade from the 4000 ED that I usually use to the 5000 ED, so I can finally give Jonah back a scanner. If mine works, I don't know, I got it off eBay. I also have some other little film things to try like Kodak Photo Flow and Kim Tech wipes. Been noticing a little bit of a watermarking issue that I've been getting on my negatives, so hopefully these little add-ons will help with that. Let's get into the film overview. The first couple rolls that we have are the Peanut Snoopy film from Retrospect. Logan ended up taking me on a romantic Valentine's Day trip to Friday Harbor, and most of this was shot on the ferry because we actually got rained out on that trip, but it's okay. Like I said in my last vlog, I believe this might be a repackaged Wolfen NC 400 or 500. I'm not really sure which one. And from the looks of it on Retrospect, I don't think that you can repurchase this anymore, unfortunately, as the Snoopy version. And I'm kind of expecting the results to be on the experimental side. Next, we have the usuals in the stash, a roll of Colorplus 200 and a roll of Pro Image 100. And these were taken around Seattle and Tacoma on the hunt for cherry blossoms, my absolute favorite time of year, and I will cry if these do not turn out. Next, we have a second roll of Pro Image 100, and this was shot in a hike called Lena Lake. Nothing too special about this hike, but Logan and I did score free Five Guys on the way home, so that made the trip a little bit more memorable. We also have two rolls of the new Aurora 400, and these were shot around the tail end of cherry blossom season. And Jonah actually helped me shoot these because I mostly modeled in them. I'm not the most confident in modeling, so I shot a lot of cityscape photos on one of the rolls just in case. I'm not really sure what this film stock is. I was gonna guess that it'd be repackaged Ultramax 400, but after doing some research, Freestyle Photo in their description of this product, it says that this is a less saturated version of Ultramax and is not a repackaged cinema film, so I'm not really sure what it is. If anybody knows, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. For the last three rolls, we have another roll of Colorplus 200, Pro Image 100, and Portrait 160. Two of these film stocks were supposed to be the same to use as a comparison with the Contax TVS and the new rollei 35 AF, but it turns out I don't know how to load the rollei 35 AF properly, so that didn't really work out. I ended up just tossing Colorplus 200 into the Contax TVS for Logan to use, and with doing so, I think I accidentally knocked it out of the autofocus setting, so that was another thing. I did double shoot with the Bessa. I don't think I'm going to be too disappointed with these rolls, but yeah, lots of issues. We got a lot of work to do, so let's go ahead and get to making our chemistry. Side note, I adopted a puppy. She is a rehome from a friend and her name is Fuji, short for Fujifilm, so you might see her throughout the vlog. But anyways, I wanted to give you my first impressions of the rollei developer here instead of at the end. TLDR, I love this developer. I think something that sets this apart from Cinestone Kodak that I really appreciate is the design of the bottles. Having them square like this in shipping is so convenient because everything just stays in place and you have less of a chance of leakage in transit. Not only that, but every cap in this kit is a safety cap, which is perfect. Chef's kiss, love to see it. The chemistry itself is really similar to Cinestill's liquid kit, I would say. It's super easy to mix. That was one of the things I didn't like about the Kodak kit, is that you need syringes to measure odd measurements like 17 milliliters or 38 milliliters. Here, it all ends in 0 and is above 50 milliliters. I'm not being paid to say any of this. I just personally really like the kit and have purchased the bigger version of this already. Okay, so here is the Snoopy film. It looks really good. Something strange though, usually with repackaged film, the film borders won't have any markings, but this one does. Let me see if I can put it up to the light and see if you can tell. Yeah, it has film markings. The color is also kind of weird too. It honestly looks like a black and white film base, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of nervous if there is color on here. Or how to convert the color, but I guess we'll worry about that in post. I think each roll has about 24 exposures or something like that, and that's why they're a little bit shorter than usual. But yeah, on to the next. I'm not sure what happened to the original audio for this clip, but here is the Aurora 400. It looks really good and is so shiny. But here you can see what I'm talking about with the color difference. The Snoopy is way more muted and gray looking. Okay, I just wanted to pop in and give you guys a little bit of an update. I'm not gonna lie, my film has been sitting here for about 2 weeks-ish. I ended up getting really sick, so I wasn't able to finish developing all the rolls. And then it was Logan and I's 5-year anniversary trip, so we headed to Bend, Oregon for a few days. But we are now adding on 2 rolls of Portrait 160 on top of the 7 rolls that we have left to develop. I was a bit low energy on this trip from being sick, so I'm not expecting these photos to be like too extravagant or anything. If I'm not talking much for the rest of this vlog, I'm so sorry. There's so much to be done, and everyone has already posted their beautiful spring photos, and I feel a little bit behind if I'm being honest. So let's go ahead and get this shit done. Here we are. The one on the far right is actually the Rollei 35 AF. I'm surprised a lot of the frames actually turned out, but I know this is the Rollei 35 AF because that is not supposed to be there. This kept happening because the advance lever kept getting stuck mid-roll. Kind of scary. It happened again down here, you can tell. Yeah, definitely was having some issues with that camera, but I'm excited because there are some frames. Okay, so the lighting's horrendous, but I ran out of developer, so I'm going to just quickly make some more developer here in the bathroom. I don't think I need any more Blix or stabilizer though, so it's just the dev that we're gonna be remaking. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this gets me through the last 7 rolls left. I know I brushed over the fact that I got the Rollei 35 AF finally in the mail, and I have a lot of words, but I want to save it for a dedicated video, so stay tuned for that. I ended up picking up something for the 5000 ED that is Completely unnecessary and very expensive. It is the SA30 full roll attachment. I've already shown this in my videos previously, but this one is mine, and I got it off eBay because they don't make it anymore. There is an Etsy seller called Analog Goods. I'll leave a link in the description down below, but basically it's a 3D printed version of the SA30, and I actually use the front piece for that just to keep my film off the table. So if you're looking for something very similar, I do highly recommend the 3D printed one because it is so much more cost efficient. There's no reason to have the original, I just really wanted it for my collection, but we're gonna see if my scanner works. And side note, Logan is so sweet. He ended up buying a ThinkPad for himself and kind of turned into a ThinkPad bro these last couple months. He ended up putting Linux on it and made me a profile. I don't know how to use Linux, so I didn't end up using it for the longest time, but when he found out that I got a new scanner, he customized the interface to mirror something that's close to Apple's operating system just so I can use it with my new scanner, which I thought was so thoughtful and sweet. Something that I already really like about this upgrade is that you don't need a dongle of cords like the 4080, which is so nice. It just takes like a normal printer USB. The 4080, you have to chain together like 3 different cords in order to use it, so that is nice. Everything with the scanner seems to be running up pretty smoothly, so let's get on to the last of the rolls. Okay, I'm not gonna make you watch me process all the rolls of film because it ended up being 16 rolls total, and this video is already very late. The Snoopy film definitely is experimental. I did bump up the saturation quite a bit in post. The overall color is very blue, I would say, and the reds lean orange. Personally, I'm not mad at the result, but I would not use this in a portfolio or client work because the grain is horrendous. I might have done something wrong during development. I don't know. Just don't zoom in. You have been warned. The portraits Jonah took turned out amazing. His handle is at All I See Is Grays. I'll leave a link in the description. Aurora 400 does look like Ultramax to me, which isn't a bad thing. It does look less saturated with the exception of the reds, I would say. I took these on a gloomy day, so it could be more exaggerated because of that. Overall, I'm really happy with my cherry blossom season photos. I just feel weird about posting them though because it is so out of season. I know I can't be alone in this feeling because film is such a slow medium and even slower when you process it yourself, but the answer is probably just to publish the damn photo or something like that. Hopefully the summer vlog won't be as late as the spring one. If you made it this far into the vlog, you are a real one. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more from me, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those good things because your girl is not monetized yet and it helps me out a bunch. If you want to see more photos, my Instagram is @flowers. It's spelled FVLWRS. Okay, love you, bye!